Hello everybody and welcome. Today I've got something rather special for you, the Cairo Citadel, or sometimes called the Cairo Citadel. Now the way it looks today is on account of Muhammad Ali. Now when I think of Muhammad Ali, I think of the boxer, not the Sultan. But he was a big mover and shaker in Egypt, and the Egyptian empire was quite large under his rule. Anyway, come along with me, and I hope you enjoy it. The Cairo Citadel of Saline is located in Old Cairo. I was meeting up with another good friend, Angelo, and I wasn't sure from what direction he was going to come. I was looking at all directions and eventually he arrived. Me and my friend Angelo moving across from Cairo to Old Cairo. I probably should tell you a little bit about where we're going.
The Cairo Citadel, also known as the Citadel of Saladin, is a massive medieval Islamic-era fortification that served as the seat of government and the residence of Egypt's rulers for nearly 700 years. Perched atop the Mokatem Hills, it offers some of the most spectacular panoramic views of Cairo. History of the Citadel. Foundation, 1176 AD. It was founded by Salah ad-Din Saladin, the first Ayyubid Sultan, primarily as a defensive stronghold to protect the city from Crusader invasions. Seat of power, from its completion in the early 13th century until the 19th century, when the ruler moved to Abdeen Palace, it was the heart of Egyptian politics. Evolution, over the centuries, it was expanded and remodeled by various dynasties, including the Mamluks and Ottomans. The Mamluks added lavish palaces and mosques, while the Ottoman ruler Muhammad Ali Pasha significantly transformed it in the 19th century into the version we see today. Modern era, it served as a military garrison for British forces and later the Egyptian army before being opened to the public in 1983. It is now a UNESCO World Heritage Site. What's their main attractions? The complex is divided into two enclosures, the northern, military, then southern, residential/religious. 1. The Mosque of Muhammad Ali, the Alabaster Mosque, the most iconic landmark in the citadel, built between 1830 and 1848. It is known as the Alabaster Mosque because its lower walls are coated in alabaster. Its massive dome and twin 84-meter minarets dominate the city's skyline. Inside, you'll find a grand brass clock given to Muhammad Ali by King Louis Philippe I of France in exchange for the obelisk that now stands in Paris's Place de la Concorde. 2. The Mosque of Sultan al-Nasir Muhammad, built in 1318, this is the oldest surviving mosque in the citadel. It is a masterpiece of Mamluk architecture, featuring a unique hyper-style design and beautiful green-tiled minarets that show Persian influence. 3. The Gawara Palace, Jewel Palace, commissioned by Muhammad Ali in 1814, this palace served as his personal residence. It features a blend of Ottoman and European architectural styles. It is historically infamous as the site of the massacre of the citadel in 1811, where Muhammad Ali invited the Mamluk leaders to a banquet only to have them ambushed and killed to solidify his rule. 4. National Military Museum, housed in the former Haram Palace, this museum displays a vast collection of weapons, uniforms, and artifacts documenting Egypt's military history from pharaonic times to the modern era. 5. The Police Museum, located in what was once the Citadel's prison, this museum showcases the history of the Egyptian police force, including famous criminal cases and displays of historical weaponry. Sixth, panoramic viewpoints. The citadel's terraces provide an unrestricted bird's-eye view of Cairo. On a clear day, you can see across the city to the Giza pyramids in the distance.
And now we've arrived, and you can see the heavily fortified walls designed to keep Christian crusaders out. And as far as I know, they were never actually tested. With a little imagination, this could be the entrance to an English castle, but it's not. With the Alabaster Mosque dotting the skyline, we were heading for the earliest mosque on the site, the Mosque of Al-Nasi Muhammad. And here it is, and you have to remind yourself that it was built in the 13th century. That minaret is absolutely amazing. One of the protocols of visiting a mosque is that you have to dress respectfully and remove your footwear. We did so, and then we entered. It is always good to observe others, and I don't think Angelo had been in such places, and you could see the amazement in his eyes. One of the other challenges with wide open spaces is making them structurally strong enough. But gee, I tell you what, the makers of this mosque did it in style. The way that they vaulted the ceilings was simply amazing. The beautiful mosaic is where the Emir gives the service. Somewhat speeded up, but now we're moving on to the Alabaster Mosque. Another interesting fact about the way they pray in a mosque is that the women pray behind the men so that the men are not praying to the women. Just an interesting fact. Angelo had just found his new car, and I did in fact do 2 trips there, so there is a bit of a mishmash of footage, but it worked out for the best. Just a quick word about that magnificent structure in the center of the photograph. It is essential for Muslims to be clean to pray, and that is a special place where you wash your feet. And in the other photograph you'll see the clock donated by a French king in exchange for an Egyptian obelisk. And when you enter the mosque proper, it's all eyes to the ceiling. The magnificent ceiling cannot be captured by a camera or a video. You need to see it for yourself. And the Arabic writing, the gold and the colors is just simply amazing. I was in awe of it, and I hope you are too. On my second visit, I was there with Kaman, not Angelo, and I got some great shots of that magnificent clock and courtyard. Even in the courtyard, I'll call it a veranda, the dome ceilings were amazing. Let us now check out that legendary view of the city of Cairo, and you will clearly see the difference between the clarity of one day and the next. I know they're not clear, but there are the pyramids, and it gives you some idea of their scale. The Sultan Hassan and Al-Sairi Mosque, I believe. I'm not too sure about these, but I think they're the ruins of a former military barracks. Homeless people do live in them. As we bid farewell to the Ali Mosque, we make our way to a former royal palace and now a military museum ranging across the whole span of Egypt's existence. A rear-end view of some missiles that appeared to be too modern to be in a museum. The stoutest of large bore cannons I've ever seen. The statue is of Ibrahim Pasha. I don't know whether it was the hat or these kids thought we were movie stars, but they followed us all around the courtyard. Kaman's standing by a MiG-21, and this is one of the most interesting amphibious vehicles I've ever seen. It almost seems to split into a separate boat for soldiers to travel in. Before entering the palace, we saw a row of former Egyptian kings. The palace itself is all paint and plaster, but the artist's done an incredible job, and as we go through I'll show you some of the magnificent ceilings as well as the arms on display. We think of Arabs in terms of camels, but in truth many of them were magnificent horsemen, said to be the weapons of dynastic Egyptians, and I tell you, in other museums I've seen much more efficient weapons than these ones, but these are what are on display. There are also some warlike pharaohs, Mentuhotep II and Ramesses III. The Arab weapons look almost too pretty to fight with, and of course they had to be better than the dynastic Egyptian ones, didn't they? We must remember that Egypt was, and always has been, a militarized state, and in the past that is what gave it its power. Regionally speaking, they are probably only second to Israel and Iran in terms of their military strength. An Arab version of a chainmail. Models of both siege engines and catapults from medieval times. I've never understood the psychology of making something designed for killing look beautiful. It's hard to imagine that the royal coach may have ever made its way inside the palace, but here it is. A bust of Ismail Pasha and some of his uniforms, who not only ruled over Egypt, he also then ruled over Sudan. A dimly lit row of former Egyptian generals, along with a cabinet filled with epaulets, distinguishing the rank of different Egyptian officers in the defense force. Early rifles at the ready, and again dimly lit a row of Egyptian sultans. This room is filled with a range of different military uniforms, along with a series of Egyptian medals and honours for the defence force. Yes, I was wondering what that was too. It turns out that it's a meridian cannon and it is used for navigation, and it tells whoever's on board a ship when the local noon is. This ugly looking piece of art is supposed to be the horned helmet of King Henry VIII. There's a couple of ideas on what this one could be, but the main one is that it is a pillbox, or a model of one, for coastal defence in Egypt. Swords and knives never seem to have gone out of fashion, have they? I believe this one to have been one of the chariots out of Tutankhamun's tomb, and they were used in warfare. These distinguished gentlemen in the statue are from the 1973 Supreme Council of the Egyptian Defence Force. Moving on to the police museum, you can't forget about the police, especially in Egypt. We start off with a row of cells. In a small space there is quite a lot of material relating to police tactics and historical cases of significance. And apparently in times gone by, this is the way the Egyptian police used to dress. There is of course also an honour board showing former police commissioners and other members of the force of high distinction and rank. Well, what did you think of that? As you can see, There's more to Egypt than pyramids. There's quite a lot of history after the pharaonic period. Hope that you enjoyed the video. I'd appreciate it if you liked and subscribe. It does make a big difference. And there's still plenty more to come. Cheers for now. Stay safe and bye for now.